They're delicate, daring, and delightful to watch. But they're also endangered. The vulnerable migratory monarch butterfly was placed on the IUCN Red List of threatened species this summer, with the eastern monarch population declining anywhere from an estimated 22% to 72% within the last decade. Habitat loss, pesticide use, disease, and climate change are just a few of the factors linked to the declining numbers.
We've devoted a lot more time and money and energy to pavement than we have to maintaining our forests.
And Texas holds a large responsibility when it comes to the monarch's fall migratory journey.
They go all the way into Canada, and then they start traveling back down to the areas in Mexico where they overwinter about now. And they really are relying on all of the foodstuffs that have a lot of sugars for them to make that journey home, because they're tiny and every little thing, wind, rain, it's all very difficult for them. So they really need a whole lot of food.
According to the experts, monarchs are very susceptible to environmental changes. So temperature swings or lack of rainfall can affect migration. And unfortunately, the urbanization of royal habitats by humans may be adding to the declining population.
We've broken up the pattern of food that they have normally relied on to get all the way that far south again.
But it may surprise you how easy it is to take action towards help.
We need to devote little patches of the land that we have to take care of to them.
Think about leaving some space in your garden, allowing native plants to grow. The plants will help attract pollinators, but also will provide fuel and energy for flights.
Throw out some zinnia seeds. Zinnias are a great feeder for not only migratory butterflies, but also hummingbirds.
A few other nectar-filled favorites include salvia, lantana, and black-eyed Susan.
They're the perfect butterfly shape. They've got their nectar kind of deep inside, and the plant provides like a resting platform for them.
With milkweed being the top choice for caterpillars. Just remember, some migrators may travel later than others.
Even in the winter, because if something has laid its eggs and then you cut it down and throw it in your compost heap, then that's what's happened to that new pollinator that you're expecting in the spring you're not going to have.
When it comes to the transition from fall to winter, one thing you may dread is the disruption of your biological clock. Up next, Chief Meteorologist Brett Anthony is going to break down the controversial topic of daylight saving time.
There are distinct opinions when it comes to the tempest over the time change. Al Harani favors later sunsets. He owns Harani's Feed and Supply in Longview. He wants daylight saving time made permanent.
I don't care early in the morning if it's dark, because I go to work in the dark no matter what time of year it is. But I want some daylight time when I get home at 6-something at night.
And he says it benefits agriculture.
It just gives the farmers a longer day to work.
Later sunsets can lead to more productivity and perhaps less crime, but the American Association of Sleep Medicine sees it differently. We're here at UT Health Northeast at the Writer Center talking with doctors about how changing clocks can change how we feel. Dr. Taylor Teague studies sleep habits. She favors staying on the same time all year. Here's why. Our bodies have 3 clocks, a social clock, or the time we go to work or school, our circadian or biological clock, which tells us when to go to bed, and our sun clock. That's when the sun is rising or setting.
When those 3 clocks are aligned is when patients typically do best and have their best sleep. And the evidence suggests that that happens when we're on standard time.
And Dr. Teague says changing time has health risks.
When you look at the data, when there's that time change to daylight savings, you actually see increased risk of heart attacks, strokes, and increased hospitalizations because of atrial fibrillation.
We started using daylight saving time in 1918 to save energy. Used to be 6 months on standard time, 6 months daylight saving time. Today, we spend 8 months of the year using daylight saving time, the other 4 months on standard time. This year, the U.S. Senate passed legislation to make daylight saving time permanent.
And this would give us a chance for Americans all across the country to be rid of fallback, to make daylight savings time permanent, and to add a little sunlight into most people's lives.
But the legislation hit a roadblock in the House of Representatives. Lawmakers wrestling with inflation, gun control, and abortion set the Daylight Protection Act aside. So for now, the debate goes on, whether there's an extra hour of daylight at the start of the day or the end of the day. But there seems to be one area where everyone agrees. The time has come to stop switching back and forth. In Tyler, Brett Anthony, CBS 19 News.